Hey, welcome, Forrest. Tonight, boom, 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 another warrior enters the room. Hey, this is Forrest out in St. Louis, also known as the Media Dude on Facebook and Twitter over at Media Dude Marketing. This house you see behind me is the Knight Villa. It's a 1933 stone villa that we've had for quite a while. We've been in the process of rehabbing for the last couple of years, and what I'd like to do is just going to take you inside, show you one of my projects, and then maybe talk to you about how rehabbing a home sort of relates to building a business. I think you're going to dig some of the ideas I'm going to share with you. So let's go ahead and run inside. I'll take you in and show you one of the projects I'm working on. I think you're going to get a real kick out of this and enjoy the video, just taking an inside peek of what I do when I'm not sitting behind the computer. We'll see you inside. Well, this is Forrest just back inside. This is one of the projects we're working on. This is our upstairs hallway, as you can see. And just wanted to relate on how rehabbing a house sort of has something to do with building a business. Now, when we started on this project, a lot of people, when you go out and you're going to start an internet business, there's a lot of building that has to do. You see the business, you see that there's potential in the business, but a lot of times you don't necessarily have the tools that are required to take that business to a level that it needs to be at. And a lot like this house, it needed a lot of work. We had to replace all the electrical, all the plumbing. We carried out two 30-yard containers of plaster and lath and stinky stuff that just was really funky. Carried another 7,500 pounds of stuff in my truck out to the dump to get rid of. And in this hallway, a lot of stuff here you can see we're still working on drywalling and mudding. But in this hallway up above, up top here, the top was sinking in and it stunk, and there were squirrels up in the attic. It was just a bad deal. So we completely took this hallway out of here. In this area right here behind me, there was actually a door that we actually moved down the hallway to here. As you can see, this is a doorway here that we put in this new door and hung this. The reason we did that is I wanted to build us a big walk-in closet in our master bedroom, and I'll eventually give you a sneak peek tour of the house when it's completely finished. As you can see, this is sort of one of the doors, the old doors over behind me. That's just an absolute mess. We're going to replace that and put in some new doors that look like this one here behind me. So again, it's a project. The point of this video, or the thing that I wanted to point out, a lot of times we'll see a business and there's a lot of potential in the business. My wife had hired some people to come in when she initially got the house. She had to hire some people to come in and work on the house, and they didn't really quite know what they were doing, and they took what needed some TLC and sort of made it worse. And then along I come, and a lot of times when we're working on projects and building businesses, it's not necessarily who you know. You got to make sure you meet the right people and have the right people in your life to get done what you got done. Now, this house has always had the potential. It's just finding the right people to put it together and bring it together. So I started pulling the house apart. And the funny thing about it is every time I'd run up on something I think was going to take a couple of hours, it ended up taking a couple of days, because when I uncovered it, it took a lot more work than I thought was really going to be needed. So that was some of the really cool projects. And when we're building our businesses, it's a lot like the same thing. We'll see a potential business, we'll look at this, and we'll say, okay, this has a lot of potential, but it isn't the business that necessarily doesn't work, it's us. We need to work on ourselves. We need to make sure that we have the right tools to do the right job, and we need to make sure that we have the right people that have the skills to do that. And it was pretty obvious that the people that my wife had hired prior to me coming on board did not have a clue on anything that had to do with rehab. I mean, it was a mess. They took what was nice and even made it worse. So I had to completely gut everything. We took out all the electrical. I put in all new electrical, all new plumbing. And this hallway, for example, was just an absolute wreck. It's an absolute mess, and it's going to be so gorgeous and sexy when it's done. And just like with the Internet Lifestyle Network business, it's a matter of having the right leaders on board. A lot of times it isn't the leadership, it isn't the business, it's you that you need to make sure that you have the training. You need to go out and say, I spend tons and tons of money, upwards of thousands of dollars on tools. Having the right tool, you've got to have the right cool tool. I've got this cool little bit. It costs all of $7, but it works like a champ when it comes into putting up drywall. So having the right drywall bit to put up drywall is cool. I have this cool compound miter saw that's going to pop up right now. You can take a look at that. That's one of my favorite tools, because when it comes to putting in baseboard trim and things like that, I know how to do that. And it's not just a matter of having the right tool, but it's knowing how to use that tool as well. That's very important. So as you build your business, whether it's an Internet Lifestyle Network business, whether it's some other business, a lot of times the business always has the potential. A lot of times it's just about us. Do we have the right tools? And then do we have the right mentorship and leadership in our life to help us move to the next level? My wife saw the potential in this house. She just didn't have the skill set to bring it to a point of all the stuff that's here. So she had to hire some people and then bring some people on. And now she's a real good student. She's learning as she goes. She watches me do stuff. I show her how to do stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that when she bought this house, she had no clue on how to do. But now she's becoming really, really good at it. She's becoming a really great drywaller and mudder and taper. So the more she does it, the better she gets. So the next time in our next project, when we move into that space, she'll be able to do that. Just one of the examples that we have up here is a chandelier behind me. There was an old ugly light. And we took this chandelier and we repurposed it and we finished it and we painted it. And of course, we're going to put some nice, cool globes and things on it like that. Again, as this hallway, if you looked at this hallway when you first started out, a lot of people look at this and say, there's absolutely no way. It's going to take too much work, too much time, and too much effort. If you look at your business that way, you're going to come out the same way. It takes hard work. It takes the right tools. It takes training. You're going to have to go to seminars and workshops and by training and learn how to do this stuff. Learn your craft. Get the right people in your life that know what they're doing and mentor with them and listen to what they have to say. And sometimes you might have to move around a little bit till you find that right business, you find those right mentors, you find the right tools. I've had a lot of tools. The tools make the difference. I tell you, they make a huge bit of difference. If you have the right screwdriver, the right hammer, the right saw, it makes a huge difference in putting your life together. Well, the cool thing, and I'm going to close on this, what a lot of people aren't going to get a chance to see when this house is completely done is what it looked like before we got it done. They'll come in and say, oh my God, this is an absolutely gorgeous house. And they may be a little bit envious and they may see what it looked like, but they're not going to see all the sweat and the toil and the hard work that went in to get it to this point. They're just going to see a beautiful house. So they might not realize, you may not realize the mentors that you have in your life and the leaders that you have in your life, how hard they worked to get where they got. They didn't get there overnight. They didn't just pop up and say, hey, I'm great and I'm famous. They worked their butts off. A lot of them started like this house did. Well, they needed a lot of work on themselves. And as a result of working on themselves, they were able to become great leaders. So that's my thoughts for the day. Get the right tools. Work on your business. Work on you. You are usually the one that slows you down from getting done what you need to get done. So work on you. Make sure you have the right tools in your life. And you'll have a huge, huge successful life, a huge, huge successful business, no matter what that business is. This is Forrest Knight out in St. Louis, also known as the Media Dude in Media Dude Marketing. Be true to you and do what you do. We'll see you on the next video.